I'm on to you, Remedios Olivares. Yes, I used to think you were a big friend of this channel, always telling me about the mass shootings from the fellas and all sorts of other nasty business the fellas are involved in, all documented very clearly, very obviously, very transparently. So tonight, Sunday night, I'm out on my porch smoking a cigar, thinking I might even open a beer, one that I had left over from last night's big party, Friday night's big party. Yeah, six of my crew. That's a big party for me. Down at the banks of the Brandywine River, joined by a newcomer, the great Arnold Lane, down at Breck's Mill. Anyway, so I'm starting to think that this Remedios Olivares, he just doesn't want me to have any peace, any rest. He keeps hammering me with these things, and now I know this. There are so many mass shootings every week. We're going to have to make this a Sunday night feature. Mass shootings with the fellas on Sunday night with Colin Flaherty. We're going to do that from now on. Stay tuned. Blame it on Remedios Olivares, and you can go find him on Twitter, follow him, so you can blame him. Let's get to it.
As Baton Rouge police begin yet another shooting investigation tonight, they're still working two others that are just hours old, including this one that erupted inside of a Baton Rouge nightclub and sent 7 people to the hospital. Tonight, as they work to get a handle on the gunfire, police say they need you to step up with answers. Absolute chaos as bullets rip through the crowd at a Baton Rouge nightclub. Outside, even more gunshots, sending those in the parking lot of Stadium Ultra Lounge into a panic. Hours later, balloons in the trash can and bullet holes left in the shattered windows are a lasting reminder of the violence that rocked the Florida Boulevard business, bringing the Friday night party to an abrupt and terrifying end.
I couldn't imagine being in that environment. I'm sure a lot was going on.
Baton Rouge police are working nonstop to figure out exactly what happened, but tell us right now they believe the shooting stemmed from a wild brawl. A video sent to WAFB shows this shirtless man hitting someone with a bottle. Moments later, the bullets start flying.
That developed, quickly escalated for people to arm themselves. Several shots were fired, not only inside but outside the club.
The violent shootout sent 7 people to the hospital, 6 of them believed to have been hit. While police are trying to solve it, they tell us several videos that popped up on social media may provide the clues they need, like how many shots were fired and who may have pulled the trigger.
Around 3:30, police say 4 people were shot. They did tell us those 4 people are conscious and alert. 2 of them taken to the hospital, the other 2 staying on scene, according to police. And neighbors we spoke to here are sick of the violence.
At a packed party in Hamden, sending 5 people to the hospital. NBC Connecticut's Sujatha Jan joins us live from the police station with more on what police are saying this morning. Sujatha.
Shannon, good morning to you. There was a heavy police presence on Choate Avenue after that violence erupted around 9 last night. That just led to sheer chaos. Now, Hamden police say about 500 people were attending an annual summer party. They initially went to the house to disperse the crowd, and that is when police say several shots were fired. They say 5 people were hurt. A neighbor tells us her family heard the gunfire.
My son and I were looking out the window and we were like, oh, fireworks. And my son said, no, that was shots. And it was about 4 or 5 gunshots. And then we just saw swarms of people running up Choate.
Well, it's unusual to have that many people at a party, 400 or 500 people. We were getting reports that there were drunk individuals lying on people's lawn.
6 people struck by gunfire at a party in Bayshore, and police say one of the victims is 15 years old. News 12 Long Island's Kevin Vesey has the story.
Witnesses say it happened in only a few seconds.
One after another one, like 3 shots, like ta-ta-ta, and then again ta-ta-ta.
A series of gunshots in quick succession outside of a house party here on Farragut Avenue in Bayshore, leaving bullet holes on the side of the home.
It was like rapid fire.
According to police, the shots rang out at around 1:30 Sunday morning, and a total of 6 people were struck. One of them, a 15-year-old girl.
In Duval County, 1 person is dead, 2 others recovering after a shooting early this morning at an apartment complex in the Hogan's Creek area. Jacksonville Sheriff's Office says it got a report of gunfire about 1 a.m. at the University Plaza Apartments. That is just north of UF Health Jacksonville. At least one of the victims got to the hospital on their own. One of the three was pronounced dead at the hospital.
During the day, many say it's a quiet shopping center.
Definitely a little scary, unnerving.
But early Tuesday morning, the sound of gunfire rocked this plaza.
I'm definitely not happy or excited to hear it. We don't want to know that that's going on.
With the help of witnesses and several surveillance setups, Burlington police are trying to track down the suspects that shot 26-year-old Trey McCandys and left him in the road.
That party was life flighted to a local hospital.
Authorities say this is an ongoing problem. They've been called for disturbances at Club Royal many times before.
We are very aware of the club. We've been dealing with local law enforcement, other law enforcement agencies in trying to figure out a way to abate the property.
Employees at shops surrounding the club say the crime is only getting worse.
There is some criminal activity that occurs at that on different occasions. It is a hub sometimes for bad things to occur. The business owners have been cooperative in the past, and we're trying to work with them to alleviate the crime that's occurring there.
Priscilla Soto works in the plaza, but is long gone before the situations are happening.
We're not here. The employees and our customers, thankfully, are not here after hours ever.
Police are enhancing patrols in one of Atlanta's fastest growing neighborhoods after gunmen sprayed bullets. Bullet holes marked the site where 7 people got shot overnight. Today, we talked with neighbors living in this part of Old 4th Ward. Channel 2 anchor Lori Wilson live outside police headquarters. And Lori, you learned that there are 2 different perspectives about this same neighborhood.
And Justin, we came down to police headquarters because they wanted to give some information about that shooting that left 7 people injured overnight. They say they expect all victims to be okay, and they believe the shooting was isolated and gang-related.
Eclectic, for sure. Yeah, there's a little bit of everything here.
Hannah Lambert moved into the transitioning Old 4th Ward neighborhood about 4 months ago. She says she feels safe in her new neighborhood and was surprised to hear about a shooting overnight.
You can see it's a little bit more like run down over there, but I've never perceived danger, and I'm honestly kind of surprised that happened over there.
She didn't hear the dozens of shots fired overnight in front of an apartment in the 600 block of Parkway, but witnesses who did asked not to be identified.
By that time, we were running in the building. We felt everything. We had to dive on the floor.
They live in affordable housing. There are $500,000 luxury townhomes going up across the street. As modern development keeps popping up all around, this is a pocket where police say they are working to tamp down crime.
It's somewhat challenged, this particular series of apartment complexes that stretches for a while. That's been the case since I joined the police department. The entire time I've been here, it's been something of a drug market over there.
I wouldn't say I feel unsafe. It seems a little bit dicier over there, but I think they're just different people in a different situation than the people on the other side of the road, who doesn't make them any less of good people, You know,
a lot of these mass shootings, they don't even make local television anymore. This one down in Louisville, multiple people shot at liquor store in Park Hill neighborhood. Here's a couple of mass shootings I didn't see on the television in Chicago. I thought they were the same one, first of all. 5 wounded in Northwest Side shooting. Next story, 5 wounded in pair of North Near Side shootings. No, those are 2 separate mass shootings, basically the same weekend in Chicago. Now, that doesn't count the dozens of other people who were shot in Chicago. And that, of course, okay, I don't like to tell people what you already know. I don't like to state the obvious. You don't come here to listen to the obvious. But shooting in Chicago is a black thing. Okay? Southeast D.C., 3 people hurt in a drive-by, including 2 children. Out in Oakland, 1 child, 3 adults injured in a shooting. In Billings, Montana, I had to check this one out because we don't really get that much from Montana. Well, here's one from Montana. You can frame it if you like. Now we end up down in Baltimore, which is basically one constant mass shooting like Chicago. 3 people shot overnight in northeast Baltimore.
Please, sir. I want some more.
Okay, Remedios Olivares. What? Are you happy now? Can I get back to my Dos Equis beer now and my cigar on my back porch, watching the fireflies go by? wondering how all these mass shootings from the fellas are escaping the attention of all the talking heads who are always talking about white people doing the mass shootings. When the New York Times says 75% of mass shootings are black, I don't believe that number anymore. I think it's like 90% now. I didn't even count these mass shootings. These are all the last couple days. I didn't count them, so you guys can go back and count them for me. Sometimes I'll put a few in here and say, I don't know who did these. No, I know who did these. And I haven't seen one white or Hispanic mass shooting over the last couple days. Pointing that out, yeah, that'll make the black kids angry.